For decades, people exposed chemtrails. Scientists tested it. Fish and wildlife people tested it. We've now been flying around the country for an upcoming film interviewing mayors and fish and wildlife people and government scientists and climatologists and weather weapons experts who work for the federal government. One of them was the head of the Naval Weapons Facility, Naval Weapons Research Laboratory. I mean, the head of it. All of this is real. It's going on. And then they just come out after this and go, yeah, we are spraying barium salts and aluminum dioxide that causes brain damage in all creatures, including not just humans, but reptile and also birds. So the ornithologists should be concerned about that. And then now they just come out and go, yeah, we've been doing tests. All of this was a Department of Energy test, and we're doing it with partners worldwide to manipulate the weather. And we are practicing to knock out different types of weather to create floods and to create droughts. And we're terraforming, and they have government textbooks for school children in the last 3 years have come out where they just, in Missouri and Texas and California teach the kids, the government is spraying sunscreen. That's what those trails are to protect you from global warming. But then all the studies show it actually increases global warming because the ultraviolet just goes right through it and then bounces back up and is captured. Look, it's insane. It's just like these FEMA camps. It's all hidden in plain view. And you wake up to this and you realize you're all part of a giant project with a scientific dictatorship playing God, and you just can't only care about baseball or your church or fishing anymore or whatever it is, or two-stepping at the local bar. I don't know what you do. The point is, I was talking to some pretty high-powered Hollywood people last week when I was in L.A. on a project, and they said, yeah, how do you go back? How do you care about any of this petty stuff anymore once you know about the New World Order? They want to keep you caught up in left and right and black and white and male and female and straight and gay and all these little things they have us fighting over. Meanwhile, or North versus South or Chinese versus America, meanwhile, the global corporations are playing all of us off against each other. And this is the issue. Everything else is a side issue to the world government and what they're doing. I want to go back to Wayne in Canada to finish the statement he was making, then back to the director of Camp FEMA, William Lewis. Go ahead.
It's Andrew, Alex.
Andrew in Canada. Wayne's next, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, doublespeak is, I think it's a huge thing. It's everywhere. I think people really need to learn more to recognize the doublespeak. For example, when the president comes out and says, we are achieving our goals, he's not talking about the American people. He's talking about his cronies, his insiders. He's talking about that team, the elites. And he's just saying it to you as if, people, I guess, are expected to think that they're part of it, but they're obviously not. And it's all over the place. The writing is on the wall. I mean, if you want to know about chemtrails, look up in the air. There's chemtrails.
Well, you're right. But, I mean, the politicians love to say something that's a message to their people, and they write about this in their memoirs, and then has a double meaning for the sheep, for the cattle. They just love that.
They get something out of it. It somehow increases the rush they get from whatever this dark power is. But you also talk about solutions, and with regards to the FEMA camps, I actually was, when I did wake up, I was in the middle of making an album, and I ended up changing all sorts of the songs and lyrics around once I had discovered, once I'd gone down the rabbit hole and discovered this, this sick and twisted vision that's being played out by the elite. And in the second track on the album, which is called Eugene Nixon, I actually say, we got led down to the nice new safe camp to learn all about Eugene Nixon. We got knocked out in the greatest time to be rolling around like a pig in its pen. And, people are being led down, this path thinking that it's all, grand and great, and they have no idea that there's a big, grinder at the end of,
Absolutely.
The road.
I appreciate your call. Well, more than that, they know something's wrong, but Bush is bad. Obama will fix it. And then now, well, Obama's bad, but only because the evil right-wingers won't let him do what he needs to do. It's their fault. We need to arrest them. I mean, I get hundreds of emails, no exaggeration today. When I look at YouTube in the comments, every third or fourth comment is, you're a racist white pig, you need to be arrested. And you click on their channel, and it's a white person. Or I look at local newspapers about the Obama Infowars.com Joker poster contest. And they're saying, these racists need to be arrested. They're dangerous. And these people really believe it because MSNBC and CNN have said it is racist to show Obama in a bad light. And so they're under mind control. How do you reach out to them? William Lewis, your comments.
Well, I think that's a very touchy subject. There's really no appropriate way necessarily to handle it other than to just simply judge each president on their merits. And I think that that's what we've got to do. You know, we knew Obama's record before he went into office. I know that you were on your radio program telling people you've got to watch out for this guy. You had the Obama deception out. You know, there was a lot of things going on, but still, all in all, the guy got elected. Big surprise. You know, touchy subject. I just think we should judge people on their merits, what they've done. F-31,
but I mean, it's so American. It's so human to criticize the corrupt emperor, the king, the leader. And over again, I have several newscasts. In fact, guys, will you cue up the North Texas? Did I give you that, the latest TV report, where they're going, I think it's wrong to show our president in a bad light. Thank God we got him taken down before any young people saw them. You know, they're acting like our supporters were posting pornography or something. Again, to call him a socialist, to call him a fascist, it isn't racist just because he's black. Again, they're using that as a political tool is what I'm saying, William.
Sure, I understand. You know, if they feel that way, they're really going to hate Camp FEMA because, you know, we've got an entire segment in there dedicated to showing how Obama's putting together this youth army, just like we saw put together in Nazi Germany, which, of course, was outlawed at one point because they knew what it was. And then Hitler managed to get it reinstated, their Hitler youth that eventually became known as. But we're doing...
Well, that's why in Africa they love 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old citizen soldiers because they're wild fighters and think it's all a game and will do whatever they're told.
Well, this is the great thing about getting a hold of young minds. You can train those young minds with all sorts of propaganda and have them do anything that you want. I mean, and how innocent, too. I mean, this was kind of the whole idea of the youth army to begin with. Those will be the spies in your community that will turn people over to the authorities because they did something that they weren't supposed to. You know, as innocent as a paper boy showing up to deliver the paper, see something on your desk that might be, you know, whatever, mailman. I mean, this was a program that was started in the Bush administration where they had mailmen going around and profiling people that they were delivering the mail to. So this is really not anything new. It's just being carried one step further.
Absolutely. We're going to play a select from your film Camp FEMA here in just a few minutes and continue with phone calls into the next hour with Gary Franchi, and you'll stay with us. But since I mentioned it, and I've got a whole bunch of video newscasts, these are coming in, so many of them I can't even watch it. A huge information war coup in that from Berlin, Germany to Tokyo, Japan, from Moscow, Russia, to major capital cities in Central and South America. I've now been on Ecuadorian TV, other channels. The Obama,
the Joker,
Obama as, yeah, we're playing a clip there in the background. Let's hold off for a second. Everywhere this is being covered. And it's not just because it's Infowars.com and Obama as the Joker to catch people's attention. Now our new contest is $1,000 for whoever makes the best poster, period, as long as it has Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com on it. Videotapes putting those posters up on YouTube. And I will judge it off the best video about the posters and the poster itself. That's what's fed into the decision of who wins. But it's all about showing people the power of just putting up posters. For a decade or more before 1776, that's what our forebears did. Even if they shut the web down, shut TV off, shut our communications off, which the Pentagon's announcing they are setting up a takeover of the internet to shut down opposition to Northcom and the 400,000 troops they've now announced they plan on putting on the streets. They're trying a hot coup takeover. They've listed veterans and gun owners and landowners as the terrorists. You are being listed as terrorists. This is real. What happened in Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia and Maoist China and Pol Pot's Cambodia and Fidel Castro's Cuba is now happening. And Obama's new FCC head of, quote, diversity officer says they want to put in Chavez controls here. I mean, they're not playing games. And so make whatever poster you want, get out there and put it up. Okay? And then send us the video of you posting the poster. Any comments on our whole poster campaign and its success? I did it showing people their power if they'll just take action with a message, with an idea.